Hey, there we go. Stream's up. Hello, everybody. I have returned uh, to join you guys for some Tier 2 action. It's Tuesday night, that's right. And I've got my thing on playback, so you've just heard that all over again. Let me quickly pop the stream into the Discord.
I will tell them to ready up.
And, oh, no. There we go. Right, I've pressed the right buttons now. Right, we'll get started, shall we? Where's me phone? Where's my phone? Hello, people in the chat. I will respond in good time, but for now, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to APPF1 Tier 2 for tonight's dose of racing action. I am Sumo, your commentator this evening, back again after a week unable to make it, and of course I'm joined by your four-time sprint champion, Ghost. How you doing, mate?
Oh, mate. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm hoping for a good race around what is a tough track, and without Bumblebee this season, hopefully we won't have anyone just speed off into the distance, because that's what he did last season. The reigning champion, who sadly can't be with us for this season, but yeah, he was immense at this track, so
Yeah.
Should be a good one.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see which driver can maybe stand up to that this evening. Season 3, Round 9 of our newly altered calendar sees us head to Barcelona as Tier 2 tackle the Spanish Grand Prix. Known well for hosting F1 pre-season testing pre-2021, Spain shall offer a decent challenge for the drivers with tricky corners in the form of turns 7 and 8 and that final chicane. This circuit's 4.675 kilometres and 16 corners should make for a great race this evening. Any thoughts on the circuit, Ghost?
Well, Lifebout just put in a funny thought in my onboards chat. He said the left-right turn is Spain without the S. But yeah, I can't help but agree. I think this track is a lot more technical than it seems, especially the last sector. You can lose a lot of time in the last sector if you don't get it right. Especially the much hated, infamous final chicane section. But also turn 2. Turn 2 is one that our drivers are going to have to be careful of. I've spun there in the past. I've won a championship because someone has spun there in the past. It's the corner of it's sort of the wall of champions of this track. It's very, very easy to spin if you get it slightly wrong. So yeah, that'll be one thing our drivers will have to watch out for today. It looks like Ziggy Wig, our newbie, is first out on track.
Yeah, just following along here with him, and we'll let him go out for his hot lap as we comment on the championship as it stands so far. So Tinoz has a commanding 34-point lead over rival Madman, who sadly cannot compete in the rest of this season. The drivers will need to work hard if Mr. Consistent is to lose any points to the rest of the competition. AlphaTauri lead by 15 points heading into the race, leaving a lot of work for rivals Red Bull to do to catch up. We head into a break after this race, and with only 5 races remaining, can anybody challenge AlphaTauri and Tinoz for that matter? I wasn't able to attend last week's race, of course, so is there any insights from you, Ghost, or opinions on the championship as it stands right now?
Well, Tinoz is absolutely immense. I think that's the takeaway so far. We've had 8 races. Tinoz has been on the podium for 7 of them. And the other one he finished 4th. So, I mean, it's going to take something special to beat him this season. He's already 34 points clear thanks to a couple of race bans for his championship rivals. So he's going to need to crash for people to keep up with him today.
Yeah, certainly so. Tonight's action once again brought to you by Positive Perception Media Design Products. If you love seeing cool livery designs, head over to their socials to catch a glimpse of some truly awesome designs. Not only do they offer virtual liveries, they do liveries for real cars as well. Check out the Angry Satsuma and leave as many likes as possible, because if they can make a Ford KA, look mean, then there's nothing they can't do, honestly. Now, without
Oh,
any
Ziggy
further
was going for a
ado,
spin.
let's go to qualifying as Ziggy goes for a spin at the infamous turn 7. Well, one with SW, I believe, is the no, it's not SW. It's a Jamie. It's Jamie F1 is on an out lap actually. Who's on a hot lap as well? Is it SW? It is SW next on a hot lap. I was right. So I watched the Williams as he's now the only Williams car left on the grid at the moment. Coming through, finishing sector 2. It's 50.666 at the moment. So expecting to set the benchmark after Ziggy's spin.
Yeah, he's race winner from the Netherlands as well, SW, this season. So he's nothing. Well, he's no slouch, put it that way. As Muhiti is unfortunately already retired from the session. So I wonder what happened there. It looks like he spun at around the exit turn 3.
Here comes SW. It's a 17.1. Not the best lap from the Williams driver thus far, but there will be plenty of time to improve on that. I think QB's next across the line, is he? He's starting his hot lap, so he'll wait and see what he can do. Is that the Mercedes over faceless arm? Yes, it is. He's approaching that horrible, horrible chicane section.
Oh,
oh, is that the other Ferrari round?
Yeah,
he's around at 12.
The other Ferrari's gone for a spin. That's
18.7 from Hephaestus.
Yeah, very easy to do. Just need to get on the curb and you're gone there. But I think 17.1 is actually a pretty good lap, Sumo. I think that's sort of around. I think that's sort of around pole territory. The lap record is one of the only lap records Vardy holds. On this year's game, it's a 16.6.
Oh, okay. So I was wrong then. I've not done a lot of racing around this circuit, but watch as the Alpine of Jamie F1 runs the final corner. It's not looking great. It's an 18.5. He splits Hephaestus and SW for the moment. There's a lot of drivers who seem to have made mistakes on their opening laps, so we'll keep an eye on them, and they should improve as the time goes on. Here comes QB through that horrible, horrible chicane, turns 14 and 15, through the final corner. Be careful where you put the power down here. It's easy to spin as he sets a 1:20.4, not his best lap, but plenty of time to improve. We've got, I think that's Hartman next. Yeah, he's coming through sector 3 now. We'll see how he does. He gets fairly decent exit onto the final corner. This could be a decent lap from him. I'm not sure it's going to challenge SW for the moment, but it's definitely going to see him. It's going to go up to P2. Great lap.
Good stuff from Hartman, yep. I'm just riding on board with Yusuf for his second attempt. He's not spun at the same place he nearly spins there, though. So Yusuf struggling with sector 3 at the moment. But it's very, very difficult sector, to be fair to him. Comes down the final corner now, got a bit too much curb on the chicane and goes into P5 for now in the Ferrari.
Krauser P4 for Red Bull and RJ P2 for Alfa Romeo with a 17.7. The only other driver to get into the 17s right now, but here comes Stingray. Can he get himself up there? Not too bad from Stingray. He goes P3. For the moment, I think Tommy Alex is setting a lap now on the medium tyre. I think that's championship leader Tinoz. I think he must have invalidated that lap, but he's off again, and there goes Stingray for a spin at turn 2.
Lifeboat also invalidated his next lap. I'm not sure if he's realised that the track is red on my mini map, so I don't think he is setting a lap here. So maybe he was maybe invalidated a tiny bit too late to get into the pits. I think it must have been the last corner, which is a shame. Tommy Alex, People's Champion, is... Oh yeah, he was invalidated his lap. LB Racing, though, he's currently P4 in the championship. Fortunately, had to serve a race ban last week, so he's going again today, hoping to get himself into P2 in the championship now that... we've lost Madman Ollie Oliver. But his teammate Crozer is currently the biggest rival to that goal. Sitting, how many points ahead of him? Crozer is 13 points ahead of LB, so it's going to be a long haul for the Red Bull.
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch last week's race. I've had quite a busy week, but I know Krauser has been probably definitely this Red Bull second driver this season. He's not had the... I think LB does have the qualifying pedigree over his teammate. But
Yeah.
Krauser's really found some pace as we reach into the second half. Well, the end of the second third of this season, I suppose.
Yeah, he certainly has. The qualifying record between the two, it's 6-2 to LB. But Crozer has been up there. He's been getting faster as the season has progressed, and he's been getting more consistent as well. So don't count him out at all. Here comes LB up to the line. He's a bit laggy, which is not what you want to see, but it's 23-0, so obviously he's going to be going again for a little bit of a better lap.
Yes, definitely so. Let's see who's out on a lap as Pomming Alex goes round at turn 7. Lots of drivers being caught out there. It's very easy to go around. You've really got to be careful with both your steering inputs and your application of the throttle as you go through that corner. You've really just got to allow the car to just sort of roll through there with the momentum you have after braking, and really just focus on the exit. That's the most important part of that corner, I think. If you don't get that right, you're going round.
Absolutely. SW, by the way, is 3.5 tenths up. So he's looking to cement his grip on pole position. Lifebout's in my chat. Tell us what happened, man. I didn't quite see where you crashed. What happened to you?
I think we might have found our new Bumblebee here, Ghost. SW
Yeah.
currently completely dominating as he goes 16.658.
That is the new APPF1 lap record around Spain for SW. So a mighty lap from the Williams.
Incredibly so. It's a shame that his teammate Ollie Oliver can't compete in the rest of the season, because these two could have been having a great sort of end to the season, and maybe even challenging for the constructors at the moment. Especially with this form, and Ollie Oliver, we all know how great he is in qualifying, and some of the laps he's been able to put in over his time with us at Tier 2. As is a yellow, there's an Alpha Tauri off, that's Hartman at turn 11.
Yeah, he's just letting cars through.
Of course,
sorry, go on.
I was going to say, of course, this version of the track doesn't look like the version you see in real life F1 at the moment. This is still the old version of the circuit, as they haven't implemented the changes yet, but we will see them on next year's game, which is actually not that far away now. It's only about 4 months.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got time for, one more Tier 2 season after this one, but a slightly shorter one, and then we'll be into the next game, which is exciting. I've heard rumours that they're going to be sports cars in it, which is, I mean, why they are wasting effort putting sports cars into an F1 game, I will never know. But this is EA we're talking about. Not to be too pessimistic, but hopefully it will still be a good improvement on this year.
Hopefully,
because Codemasters games are usually get better by the years, unlike FIFA.
Yeah, hopefully rumours are just rumours, because I don't want sports cars in my F1 game, thank you very much. If you're going to put any new cars in, put the Formula 3 cars in, why not? That'd be a lot of fun.
It would. And Rick has just said Formula E, that would be fun as well.
Yeah. But anyway, Tinos is coming round, championship leader. He's coming through Sector 3 now, the final chicane before the final corner. Coming round turn 16 now. This is looking like a fairly quick lap from the championship leader. Not going to challenge SW too much, but he will put himself on the front row. He's about a second off of SW's time at the moment, though.
Yeah, and Stingray comes across the line 6 or 7 tenths off his previous best, so he's not improved either. But as Jamie F1 goes into the wall!
That's a huge crash.
Very, very easy to do. Just a bit too much throttle there for the Alpine, and into the wall he goes. He'll be hoping not to repeat that in the race, but he's not going to be improving, which is a shame, because he's going to drop fairly far down.
I'll tell you what, I made you guys watching a promise earlier to get my live chat open, and I haven't done that, so let's have a look what you guys have been saying. It's nice to be back, of course. Always sucks when I have to take a week out, but real life does come first, unfortunately. I've got to get that bread, as they say. Is Yusuf coming out to finish a lap? No, he's heading off for a trip to the pits. I'm trying to find somebody on a lap right now. Stingray, is he on a lap?
Tommy
Possibly.
Alex is on a lap.
Oh, the People's Champion. Oh, let's see what Stingray is up to. I think he might be on a lap, actually. Uh, oh, he is a little bit shaky through the chicane, but it looked like a quick exit. This could be a decent lap from the Aston Martin. It's going to be up in the 17s, a 17.8. Not improved
Ooh.
this position much, but it's improved that lap time certainly so. Here comes Pommy Alex saying his first lap of the evening. It's looking quick from the Australian.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
P2.
Great lap from Pommy Alex, 17.2. And yeah, I just want to give a quick mention to Stingray as well. He's been sort of nearer the back in Tier 2 in terms of qualifying pace, certainly, this season. So to see him up in the top 5, I'm sure he'll be very happy with that indeed.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, let's hello. Well, who's in the chat right now? Hello, Lawson. Hello, Ash. Hello, Hartman. Hello, Luke. Hello, Rick. Hello, Oliver. It's nice to have you all in here. I hope you're enjoying qualifying thus far as we get
Oh
into
my
the
god,
latter
what a lap this
stages
is
right
from
now.
Crozer.
Oh,
Sorry
here
to
we
interrupt
go.
you, 17.7 on mediums.
Wow, what a lap. Yeah, he goes 200ths of a second faster than RJ on the soft tyres. That's a great lap. That could be a dangerous position if he keeps that lap and that position at the moment.
SW is purple again. He's not happy. He's not happy with his previous lap. He's gone half a tenth faster in Sector 1. He's going through the second sector now. What can he do as he comes through the infamous turn 7-8 chicane? Very nicely done. Now to turn 9, you've got to really commit. He goes down into 6th for just a second just to get that turn in, but he does commit very much. Half a tenth up still through Sector 2. That's wide, and that is an invalidation.
Here comes Hartman. He's 2 tenths up already, and it's going to put him up into P4, taking the second row of the grid. He's just four tenths off of his team, 400ths off of his teammate even. That's a good lap from Hartman there.
It is, absolutely. The AlphaTauri qualifying battle is also quite lopsided. It's 7-1 to Tinos.
Wow.
But that's a really good lap from Hartman, right up with his teammate, 400ths away, as you said. So he'll be happy with that. There's a lot of drivers who look pretty good around this track, but SW at the moment just looks far better.
RJ's on an outlap right now, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. Crowds are coming into the pit, so let's ride on board with Yusuf. Fairly anonymous a lot of the time. He doesn't have the best performances, but when he is out there, he definitely does give it his best, and it's great to see. He's new to APPF1. He's been with us since the start of the season, I believe. And
Yes.
well, if there's anything we encourage at APPF1, it's the improvement of both the racing and the racers involved.
Absolutely. He's had 2 finishes so far and 1 DNF. Hasn't been able to make many of the races, unfortunately, but it's good to see him here in Spain. Finished 11th in Hungary and a lowly 15th in Silverstone. But he'll be looking to improve on that today. He can't do much any worse than 15th today, at the very least.
Yeah, actually, Pommy Alex has put up an interesting stat here. He's got a clean sheet when it comes to qualifying record at the moment, as he hasn't had a teammate all season.
Well, he's had TTV Max for 3 races, as Yusuf goes 5 tenths faster,
Wow.
but doesn't really improve in terms of position very much. But he does get into the 17s.
Here comes
so
RJ. That's a
himself.
17-0 on the front row. That is a challenge, but we're at the dying stages of qualifying now. We've only got 33 seconds left of the session, so RJ's going to have to really give it some here if he's going to try and improve on that lap. Well, come back to RJ as he finishes. I think Ziggy Wiggy's coming along. Debut race here in Tier 2. Let's see what he can do in that Mercedes. It's not going to be too impressive, but it'll be an improvement slightly over LB, who is currently last, but provisionally. He's coming across the line now on the medium tyres, so he's going to commit to that strategy. That's a decent lap from LB on the 17.6.
It is indeed. Crozer's lap on the mediums was 17.7, so the Red Bulls are pretty similar. But Crozer's not going to have enough time to go round again, so he is going to start on the medium tyres in the race.
Here comes Tin Oz. He's looking like a fast lap from the championship leader, but it's not enough of an improvement. He's got time to go again, I think, so he'll just have to put foot to the floor and hope he can get an improvement. Is Yusuf on a lap? He is, but he's a 10th down. That's a shame for the Ferrari. He's going to peel into the pit lane. That's his qualifying done for this evening. QB is also way down on his previous time, so that's his qualifying over. RJ not up on a lap at the minute. I'm just trying to cycle through our drivers right now. Krause is done with qualifying. Is that Pommy Alex? Is he up on his time? No, he's 3/10
LB.
down.
LB is the only one on a faster lap. He's 3.5 tenths up, but he's spun. He's
Oh!
spun. Oh, I jinxed him as soon as I went on board, and he has spun it. But I think even if he'd completed out the lap, he's got an Aston Martin following him at the moment.
What's going on there?
Sebastian Vettel is coming to check on him to make sure he's all right.
Yeah, Inspector Seb. Here he comes.
But yeah, even if he had completed out that lap, 3.5 tenths might not even have been enough to get him up a position.
Yeah.
So he hasn't lost out too much, and he's still going to be starting on the mediums. And now everyone's completed their qualifying laps. I think it's an opportune time to say those starting on the mediums, keep an eye on them.
Yeah,
because that is the optimal strategy around here.
Unless did Krause no, he didn't set the lap. So yeah, the Red Bulls started on medium tyres. That's going to be quite the threat going into the race. But just having a look, Red Bull everywhere up there. Yeah, a lot of Red Bull up there. P4, 5, 6, and 7, all Red Bull teams. That was a good lap from LB. He's going to have a really good race ahead of him if he can pull that strategy off. Let's have a look. A discussion around there. I must say, Ash is my teammate for our multiplayer career. Fairly new to the game, but she's definitely improving as she gets more and more used to it. And if it wasn't for a horrible spin on the final lap at Bahrain, she would have had P2.
Well, good to hear. Yeah, I've got a co-op career going with someone very new to the game as well, so it's good fun.
SW then taking pole position with a 16.6 lap record. RJ in P2, Pommy Alex P3, Tinnels and LB make up your top 5 with Hartmann, Krause, Stingray, Yusuf and Hephaestus Arm making up the top 10. And I'll try and read the rest of them. I'll pause the stream just so I can. We have Jamie F1 in P11, QB in P12, Ziggy Wiggy P13, P14 is Muhiti, of course, and I didn't see the rest because I didn't scroll down far enough, but you'll see in due time. No rain then, not so far. It looks fairly clear out there in the skies of Barcelona as we head into the race.
Good to see. The medium tyre starters will be happy to see that as well, because rain would make their strategy fairly useless. But yeah, the optimal strategy around here is medium hard.
Wow, I don't know if you saw the the message, but Oliver put that into the chat almost just as you started saying it. That was perfect timing. So there you go, Oliver. That is the optimum strategy around here, medium hard. You heard it here from Ghost, and Ghost is a 4-time champion, so I think he knows what he's talking about.
I actually learned that from Keenan.
Ah, there you go. Keenan, of course, Tier 1 Season 3 champion? Yeah. We go off for the formation lap. It was Lifebout who rounds off the back of the grid, who was on course for a win only 2 races ago. Back in Singapore it was, I believe. And wow, if only fate hadn't intervened in Lifebout's race and caused him a spin, we could have had Lifebout on his maiden victory. But nevertheless, we we won't reminisce on races gone by. We will have to wait and see what happens in this race. And SW leads us round for a formation lap.
Lifebout has asked in the onboards chat whether medium soft works. Well, if you're good at driving with punctures, then it might work.
Yeah, Spain very brutal on tyre wear. Softs do not last around here for very long at all. Even on 25% races, it's a struggle to get the tyres to their next part of the race.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. But yeah, any predictions from you or those of us, those people we've got in chat on the podium today?
Yeah, and of course, don't forget to give your guys' vote for driver of the day toward the end of the race for the Vardy column, as Vardy would definitely appreciate some votes from you guys. So watch keenly, see who you're liking, who's shaping up well, and get those votes in before the end of the stream.
Yeah, absolutely. Get your driver of the day votes in. Looks like we're about to line up on the grid to go racing. So I'm gonna go SW wins, followed by RJ, followed by Tinoz today.
You know what? I'm gonna go with similar. I'm gonna go as it is right now. SWRJ and Pommy Alex.
Well, we'll have to see how it turns out. LB and Crozer as well. We've got to watch them. Actually, I'm going to change my podium prediction. I forgot they were on mediums. I'm going to go SW, Crozer, and Tinnels.
Yeah, I definitely think. I don't know. Come on, Pommy. That's what I'm saying.
No. Impartial commentary.
Oh, impartial. Yeah. That's what the people are saying.
We're about to go racing.
5 red lights. And we're away for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's looking like a really good start from the champion in P4 back there. SW gets away really well, but that Alfa Romeo looking for a way round the outside of turn 1. Here they go. They're going to go side by side into the first corner. SW covers him off well. Pommy Alex under threat from Tinos just behind there as well. Looking like they're all going to get through cleanly. Or there is a car in the gravel just at turn 2 there. I think that's a Red Bull. That's Crozer. He's got damage, I think. No, I'm not sure. I can't tell.
But, disaster for Crozer, but RJ is putting the pressure on SW.
Yeah, SW under threat now. RJ is looking very quick off the start here. It's a shame. Jamie F1, Muhiti and Lifebout all up 4 places at the moment. As Krauser's had a nightmare start, that's really going to affect his strategy, but he might be able to claw something back. He's not too far away, so we'll wait and see. But RJ on the attack, it seems. Is he going to go for a look down into turn 10? No, he's going to think better of it at the moment. No attacks going on at the minute, although Lifebout and Muhiti chopping and changing places. Lifebout getting ahead of the Ferrari.
Yeah, it looks like good racing so far from everyone. I don't know if Crozer spun on his own. As Ziggy Wig definitely has spun on his own. At the slow hairpin there, so unfortunate for him on his first APPF1 race. You got Yusuf just behind Stingray now. The Ferraris and the Aston Martins having some battles, it looks like, as SW sets the initial pace.
So it's just having a drink. RJ getting close. He's not quite got the attack. It can be quite difficult to overtake around here. You've really got to put in some work to set up the move, especially down toward that first couple of corners there. I know it all too well. Chasing. What we got? What's happened?
QB's had a spin at turn 2, the dreaded turn 2.
Oh, horrible corner to spin at. Horrible.
Yusuf right on the back of Stingray still there, continuing this battle. The Aston and the Ferrari. Yusuf, of course, trying to get a good result today. As I said earlier, can't make many races, so it's good to see him, and hopefully he can.
Lifebout's on the attack. He was looking to the inside, but he thought better of it for now. It's tricky to get a move done unless you're right side by side with the car, but he's all up in that gearbox.
That's Stingray.
That's Stingray round. Oh, that is a shame. He was looking for a good race at the minute, and the Mercedes with a face just blocked off a little bit there as Stingray got back on the track and shut the door. But Lifebout really looking to go on the attack here. But Tinoz on the attack. Pommy Alex is really getting mugged here as both LB and Tinoz get around him. Either side, they were 3 wide for a moment. And LB's on the attack on Tinoz now. He's going to go round the outside. Inside for turn 2 now. Still side by side up into turn 3. This is incredible racing. Pommy Alex can get involved here as well. Tinoz goes round. Mr. Consistent's gone round and lost the car. That's going to put LB in P3 then and Pommy Alex in P4.
I think he just got too much curb at turn 3 while he was trying to stay with the Red Bull of LB, and he was lucky he didn't take Pommy Alex out with him. Yeah, not ideal for the championship leader. Down to 11th he goes, and not 11th, down to 12th he goes, and he's going to have to try and fight back for the rest of this race and hope for a safety car. Hartman on the back of Pommy Alex as well. Alex is looks like he can't really keep up with LB at the current rate. Those softs are already starting to degrade as we've got an Alfa Romeo way off the track. Is that RJ? RJ's had a spin at the hairpin. The
lost his wing.
Yeah, that's the 3rd car to go round at that corner today, and we're only on lap 3. RJ's going to have to come into the pits, but now that means SW has a 5-second lead over LB. As here comes Hartman.
Well, you were mentioning about Bumblebee, but it's going to be the same with SW at the minute. But Hartman down the inside of turn 1. The McLaren and the Alfa Tauri going to go side by side, but Pommy Alex as well to cover that one off as Hartman goes a little bit too deep onto the inside curb there. Jamie F1 in the background as well. He'll be looking for a way through. There's quite the train going on here. They've got Pommy Alex on the back of LB, who was on the back, who's got Hartman on the back of him. Jamie F1, Yusuf, then Lifebout, then Muhiti and Stingray. Oh no, Stingray too far back. He is too far back. That's my bad.
Yeah, just a quick mention to Jamie and Lifebout, who have quietly made their way through the field. Jamie F1 is up 6 places, Lifebout is up 8, and they've both started on the mediums. So they're in theory on the optimal strategy. This is
a little battle going on at the back here as RJ and Tinoz are making their way back up. As Hephaestus is, I think he's had a bit of an off actually. That was what the position changes were for. But yeah, we're keeping an eye on it. Let's switch back over to tyre strategies now. We're just looking at the position change. Let's go back to tyres. We'll probably start seeing soft runners coming in soon, in probably about 3 laps time. At the latest, I'd have said, for a 2-stop strategy, I'd have thought.
Yeah, for sure. Rick is asking in the chat, is it spelled tyre with an I or tyre with a Y? Right, Rick, this depends where you are. If you're in the UK, which is the right spelling, I'm joking, then it's with a Y. If you're in the US, it's with an I, as Crozer gets past Stingray. So Crozer is fighting his way back up. He's 6 seconds off the rest of the pack, but as long as he can keep that position from Stingray, which I think should be fairly simple with Stingray on those aging softs, he's going to be looking to catch back up again. It's not all over at all for him.
No, not at all. And with this pit stop strategies, as they start to play out, he'll have easier time making up some of the ground that he lost. But there are people who started outside the top 10 on the mediums. Muhiti and Lifebout for one, as well as Jamie F1.
Sorry to interrupt.
RJ.
Turn 2, he's gone. That's his 2nd spin of the day. I can't see if it doesn't look like he's got any damage, but he's down to P15 now, unfortunately.
It's a shame. There goes my podium prediction then at the moment.
Mine is gone as well. Crozer had a spin.
Yeah, there you go then. But the People's Champion doing well to stay in P3 at the moment, but he does have a train of 3 cars behind him right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. As Stingray comes into the pits, he's the first to jump.
Interesting. So those softs already starting to go as Stingray unfortunately gets himself a pit lane speeding penalty. So that's going to set him back for the rest of the race as Lifebout goes a bit wide on the exit of turn 3, but nothing much that Muhiti can do to take advantage as Ziggy Wig goes round again at the same corner.
Yeah, Jamie F1 probably getting a bit frustrated now. He's on those medium tyres though, so he's just got to sit there and wait as Hartman and Pommy Alex will start to lose some performance now, as Hartman has a little bit of a snap there, a little wriggle, outside of turn 7. It's always scary. It's always when you're holding your breath or you're clenching your cheeks at that particular moment. As it gets a little bit
Oh,
scary.
Ziggy was
Ziggy's
gone at the
out.
last corner.
I
He's
think that,
obviously
yeah.
that's at the pit lane entry. It looks like.
Ah,
So is that going to be a safety car? I wonder. It doesn't seem like it. There's no full course yellows coming out. So it goes on as SW comes into the pit. So yeah, those
that's
softs are starting to go
dangerous. Why is there not a
already.
safety car for that? That's on the racing line.
Yeah, no idea, but I don't know what Michael Massey's thinking there. But I mean, it's not a decision out of. I mean, it's just it's Codemasters trying to make the game realistic,
Yeah, SW in the pit lane. No, it's got medium tyres for SW, the race leader. So he's going to drop back behind Krauser, which is interesting. But Krauser won't be any threat to SW's race, so he's got to put in a good outlap here. He's got to think about not only the soft runners, but he's got to think about where LB is going to be. He's going to try and close that gap and get him on the pit stop. But I think he will. He had quite a big gap over him as well. And what's the gap to the leader right now? Let's have a look. Yeah, SW 14 seconds. LB goes round at turn 7.
LB's round. Huge, huge, huge for the strategy. That's going to lose him a huge amount of time, and his medium tyres are going to take a beating from that spin as he has to nurse them round for the rest of this lap to get them to heat up again, or, well, cool down, rather. So LB, huge spin, and now that means Jamie F1 is the biggest threat to SW, because Jamie is... in theory, well, as long as he's on the right strategy, he's going to be on a one-stop, as Pommy Alex also bites the bullet and comes in. But yeah, SW, he's got to be on a two-stop. Those mediums are not going to get to the end.
Yusuf's in as well.
Yeah, so, and he gets himself a 5-second penalty. It's always tricky. But yeah, the Ferrari and the McLaren both in for the mediums as well, so looks like a two-stop for them. But yeah, Jamie F1, he's about 3 seconds clear of Lifebout. Look, he's going to look to get past Hartman now because, well, Hartman should pit this lap, I would have thought.
Yeah.
So we're going to have Jamie F1 leading the race by some distance, and he's going to have one fewer pit stop to make than SW. So Jamie F1, I mean, he's in a good spot. He nearly goes for a spin. I nearly jinxed him.
Nearly. We need to start saying they are going to go for spins, and then they won't go for spins. Reverse psychology. But SW, he's 7 tenths behind Krauser, but I don't think he'll need to go too much on the attack. But in the same breath, he won't want to be stuck behind him for too long. It looks like he's going to set the move up for the pit straight here. You've just got to make sure you get the better exit out of that chicane. It's very, very important, that chicane, to get it right. Otherwise, your run is compromised all the way down. So we'll watch SW as they come through the chicane now. Oh yeah, much better exit. He's got much better grip as Hartman does come into the pits, as you said, Goes. So he has chosen to listen to you. As SW, yeah, he's going to make that move. Krauser defense to the inside. Yeah,
but I don't think there's any use.
He looked like he was going to go back on the attack, but he backed off.
He did. Yeah, but the superior pace of SW proving too much, and already look at that Williams. It's gone. It's almost out of Krauser's view already. So yeah, SW on the charge. He's only 9 seconds off the race leader.
Fastest sector 1 too.
Yeah, he's still definitely the favourite to win this race. Who else? Muhiti came in as well, which I found interesting. Maybe did he have damage? I wonder, because he started on the mediums and now he's gone onto the softs. So either he had a two-stop in mind to begin with, or he's taken some damage.
Yeah, that, or like you say, he knows something everybody else doesn't, as he goes for a spin.
Oh no!
The commentator's curse once again, everybody.
Yeah, too much curb. At turn number 7, and Lifebout looked like he's gone for a spin as well. Yeah, I think that might have been a second spin as well.
Yeah.
For Lifebout, because he had already shipped a bunch of positions, and SW, there you go, he sets the fastest lap already.
Yeah,
So he is on the charge as Lifebout is now basically taken himself out of podium contention, I would have thought.
Here's the fight that I'm interested in at the moment. Pommy Alex, I reckon he could be in for a podium here.
Could be.
And he's got Hartman and Yusuf on his tail. He has had for the majority of this race so far. So it's going to be Pommy Alex against these guys. This midfield fight that we're going to be watching for the moment. But yeah, it definitely seems like somebody's greased up the track or the tyres or something, because everybody's spinning. And really, like we say, Spain is proving tricky for the drivers. It's a very technical track. It doesn't look it on when you look at the track. It's like, yeah, it's fairly standard, but it's not. It's a very it's a circuit that really challenges your smoothness and your ability to find
just
traction.
As you say that, is that Jamie F1 spinning from the lead? It is. Yeah. So Jamie F1 takes himself out of the race lead with a spin. And he's going to be gutted with that, because he was in fantastic contention for podium and could still be, to be honest. But SW now, because of that, is within 2.5 seconds of the race leader LB now. And he is absolutely motoring. Only 40% battery though, so he has used a lot of battery to close up. But I don't quite think he needs to.
Oh, here we go. Here comes Hartman. Sorry to cut you off, guys. He's going to look for the move to the inside of turn 1. They're going to go side by side. I think he's got the move well and truly done. That's the AlphaTauri of Hartman up into P6 at the moment, as Pommy Alex is looking to come back at him, but he's not quite got it. He's going to have to think forwards and backwards at the minute, because Yusuf's going to be on the attack as well. Pommy's just got to wait for the right moment and hope that Hartman makes a little mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. Good racing from Hartman to get himself in front, but I feel like this is going to be a swapsies for the rest of the race between these three. We've got Muhiti had another spin, by the way, in Sector 3, so he's even further down now as Lifebout gets himself a 3-second time penalty, and he's going to come into the fray as well. Lifebout, he's been on those tyres since the start and obviously had that spin earlier. Talking of spins, Hephaestus' arm goes for another spin. Yeah, so Lifebout is definitely going to come into this fight without meaning to. He's going to give Hartman the DRS, so Pommy Alex not going to be able to make a move, and Yusuf is right behind the McLaren as well.
Yeah, Hartman probably thankful for Lifebout's position at the moment, as Pommy Alex won't be able to attack as effectively unless he gets a monstrous exit, and he does actually. It's not going to be too much, but Pommy Alex definitely will close that gap up a little bit, as Yusuf does as well. But actually, Lifebout could prove a hindrance to Hartman's race here, actually.
Oh, as he goes for a spin, but so does Crozer again. Crozer at turn 2 is proving difficult, but we've got Lifebout. So much just happened in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yusuf is down the inside of Lifebout now into turn 4. He can't quite make the move, but I think there was a lot of confusion there. There was cars all over the track at turn 2, and people didn't really know where to turn as Yusuf goes into the back of Lifebout. Hopefully he doesn't have damage.
He does, I think. It's the left end. No, he doesn't actually. I don't know if it's like an olive green sort of damage though. But
it could be. It looked like he had a lot of understeer through there. This will be the corner where you can tell. Oh, maybe not, actually. Maybe not.
Yeah, perhaps not.
So, Yusuf lucky to get away with that one. We've got Pommy Alex still in the back of Hartman with Lifebout now well behind. I think Lifebout had a huge moment on the exit of turn 2. Just about managed to keep the car on the track, but it really made Yusuf lose out. He was in just the wrong part of the track. And he was lucky not to be caught up in Lifebout's error, as it were, but he has been caught up in terms of time.
There's Hartman going defensive already. He's trying to break the toe. I'm not sure the straight's going to be long enough for Pommy Alex to launch an attack, but he'll definitely close up. It is, as Pommy Alex goes up the inside.
Yusuf as well.
Gets it done. Here comes Yusuf as well, going up the inside of the Aston Martin.
Yep, 2 overtakes at the standard place on the track, but Pommy Alex and Hartman swapping places again as Tinnels gets past QB as well.
Here's something. SW is within DRS range of LB, so this could be a change for the race lead here as we go down toward the run to turn 10. It's 7/10 at the moment. I'm not sure it's going to be a move here, but definitely expect one along the pit straight.
Yeah, turn one is where the move will be made. SW just so much superior pace to the Red Bull
Oh, it's
at
LB
the moment. And LB's
spins!
gone! LB has spun, and that makes SW's job a lot easier. That's the second spin LB has had at the same corner as Lifebout goes down the inside
Oh, and there's
of
Jamie
Yusuf at the
F1
hairpin as
now.
well.
Here comes Jamie F1. He's very close to the back of LB. I think LB might be coming into the pits soon, perhaps not at the moment, but Jamie F1 getting a really good exit, and he's in really prime position to take P2 of the race. And there he goes. They're going to go side by side. LB's going to fight him all the way down to the corner. I think no, Jamie with the DRS has got ahead before the corner and has taken P2. Unfortunate events for LB, and here comes Hartmann on Pommy Alex down the inside again. These two changing positions all around, and Yusuf losing into the pits actually. So he's bit the bullet and come in. He's serving that penalty as well, so that's going to drop him way back.
He must have taken some damage in the battle with Lifebout. That's very unfortunate for the Ferrari. He's onto the softs now, so he's going to be stopping again before the end as well. But he was driving really well, so it's sad to see. But yeah, he's going to be hoping for a safety car, as are many drivers today. Because at the moment, if there's no safety car, this is a race for P2 and only P2. Because SW is so fast today.
Definitely. So, yeah, I'm surprised as well that nobody's crashed into the barriers yet. But we're only halfway through this race, so there's still plenty of time for that to happen. This is Spain, of course, and it wouldn't be Spain without some a little sprinkle of pain on the top.
Absolutely. And just as you say that, there's about a bit of pain coming for Jamie F1 because LB Racing has got the DRS and it's clean through well before the corner, and we've got to watch Pommy Alex as well on Hartmann. Is he going to have the speed to close up? He is. Look at that closing speed up into turn one, but Pommy Alex doesn't go for the move very sensibly. Stays behind the AlphaTauri and doesn't decide to send it because he knows there's not really much point. He's seen that they've swapped positions pretty much every lap for the last 10 laps or so. So he's thought, right, there's no point in dive bombing or going for a send. I'm just going to hang back and wait until I have a better opportunity, as it looks like Yusuf went for another spin, unfortunately, in sector.
That's a shame. I mean, he'll probably at least finish the race, but like I say, we're only halfway through, so we'll keep an eye on that situation. But Hartmann and Pommy Alex having a lot of fun out there at the moment. LB actually opening up that gap to Jamie, but he's just on the fringes of DRS, but I think LB's going to bat him away from that. But these two on a similar strategy, remember, so these two haven't pitted yet. We'll have a look and see what the stops are for everybody at the moment. See everybody making one stop. Yusuf and Haface has interestingly made two stops out of damage. LB's coming to the pits, Jamie and Jamie as well too.
So I will suspect, go onto the hards. LB Racing onto the hards. Jamie F1, Alpine engineers have a set of hard tyres, so this will be their only stop of the race. As they come out, and they're going to try and make the most of those hard tyres. Are they going to come out ahead of Tinos, whose Kroos has also come into the pits? But here comes Tinos down the straight. It's going to be very close. LB just behind the AlphaTauri. Does he go for a send? No, he doesn't. So those hard tyres, they come out just behind Tinos on those 11-lap-old mediums. So this could be interesting.
Yeah, remember AlphaTauri and Red Bull are in a direct fight.
Stingray, sorry to interrupt, down the inside of Jamie F1 into turn number 4. He sends one as Jamie goes for the switchback, but Stingray just about covers it off enough, but goes onto the grass. Jamie anticipates a spin and goes a bit wide in fear, but luckily Stingray holds the car as he goes onto the grass. And gets himself up into P7. But Jamie misjudges the braking of Stingray there and nearly goes into the back of him, but well controlled from the Alpine driver. But he's losing a lot of time to the Aston Martin, who's got no battery in the tank either.
Yeah, and those hards actually are going to take probably about a lap to warm up at the minute. They are very slidey on the first lap when you get out on the hards, but once you get them in a groove, they're actually a fairly solid tyre as the grip wanes away slowly compared to the other two compounds of tyre. As Pommy Alex gets up ahead of Hartmann once again, these two switching positions every lap or so now, and actually having a lot of fun out there. And It's Lifeboat's now
Lifebound
in the
also into the
pits.
pits for the hard, so yeah, the same strategy. QB is doing the same. So those guys, only one stop for them. Jamie F1 doesn't quite have the closing speed on Stingray, which is not what he wants, and he goes very wide through turn 2 as well. He's losing quite a bit of time behind the Aston Martin.
Yeah, AlphaTauri really showing why they're leading the Constructors' Championship at the minute. Look where they are at the minute. P3 for Hartmann, P4 for Tinnels. But remember, that top 3 will have to come and pit again. And let's have I think the gap to the leader is well above a pit stop, so SW's safe. But I think Pommy Alex and Hartmann are not. And if Hartmann is a team player, I think he'd be trying to slow Pommy Alex down as much as he can to get Tinnels on the back of this, but it would also bring LB on the back of it as well if LB could stay with Tinnels.
Don't forget Tinnels has got a pit as well.
He has got a pit too. Yeah, he hasn't come in yet.
All the top 4 are going to have to pit. So LB and Jamie F1, as I said earlier, they're going to be in contention for the podium here. But those guys who do pit, they're going to be on the mediums. They're going to be faster. So it will be a strategic battle to the end of this race, provided there's no safety car. Please don't bring out a safety car.
Yeah, SW's gap to Tinnels and LB is around 27 seconds. Looks like Jamie F1's going for a move up the inside of Stingray, and he gets the move done before the corner and is up into P6, and he'll be looking to get after LB.
Yeah, he'll be very glad to see the back of that Aston Martin. It's cost him, well, I mean,
the front
he's
of that Aston
not as
Martin.
Yeah, he's the front of the Aston. Yeah, he's not quite as fast as LB. We saw that earlier, but he's not 4 seconds in 2 laps that much slower than LB. So he has lost a lot of time to the Red Bull. And at this rate, it could lose him a podium as well, because those guys who are going to pit, they're going to be fast on those mediums towards the end of the race. They could go on to softs as well if they stretch those mediums far enough, but that would be a stretch. But yeah, Jamie F1's in a bit of a precarious position here.
Yeah, he certainly is. I think that spin is what's cost him a lot of his position and advantage on the circuit, as Hartmann's coming on the attack again. Pommy defends to the inside. He's looking to the outside right now. It's plain sailing move visit for Hartmann. I think Pommy Alex has stayed with him. I don't know, the camera has shifted. No, Hartmann's up into the place, and Pommy Alex gets a slightly awkward exit out of turn 2 there and onto the turn 3.
Yeah, Pommy let him go. I saw the McLaren lift off the accelerator on the onboards before the corner, so he let Hartmann go. Same again. He didn't want to fight it too hard because they've been swapping positions all race long. LB on the back of Tinnels now, 2 tenths behind the championship leader. This could have implications on the championship if Tinnels slows LB down enough. Then of course Tinnels is going to have to pit, but he could try and make LB vulnerable to the guys ahead of him by slowing him down a bit now. But here comes LB now. He gets a much better exit as SW comes into the pit, so he's going to be fighting back on another set of mediums, but LB not quite close enough to make the move into the hairpin.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, Stingray goes into the back of Jamie into the hairpin. Sorry to interrupt. I don't know if there's damage to the Aston Martin, but there was definitely contact. Braked a bit too late and straight into the back of the Alpine. SW is going to come out of the pits in front of Tinnels, so he will be chasing after Hartmann and Pommy Alex.
Comfortably in front of Tinnels is more importantly as well. I thought he would come a little bit closer to Alex and Hartmann there at the minute, but I guess not. He's actually in the perfect kind of gap. He's not going to have anybody in front slowing him down. And Pommy and Hartmann are still yet to pit, of course, so he'll definitely get rid of them. As Stingray's up ahead of Jamie again.
Jamie's got the spin! Too much of the curb at turn 2, and it's another spin for the Alpine, who's definitely thrown away his chances of a podium now.
Yeah.
I'm sad to say. But yeah, just a small mistake, bit too much of the curb, trying to chase after Stingray, and he is gone.
Yeah, that is a shame for the Alpine driver who's looking to have a good race. Another of the newbies to Tier 2, and it's a shame that his race has culminated in that spin. RJ actually on quite a decent recovery at the minute. He will have to pit again as well, of course, but He's up in P7 at the moment,
Pommy
and
Alex into the
doing fairly
pits.
well. And then comes Pommy. So Pommy looking to undercut Hartman here, I think. So we'll be watching these two battle. They've been going at it all race long. So these two are having a great time out there at the moment. Let's see what Pommy goes on to. It's a fresh set of mediums for the Australian. That's probably the only choice since tyre wear is so bad around here. And it will come out behind Tinoz. And it would be
Is he going
behind
to come
Stingray
ahead
and
of
RJ
Stingray?
as
It's going to
well.
be
As
close.
RJ's on the attack. He's looking to the inside. This could be interesting if these two get close enough to Pommy Alex. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Pommy Alex gets out in front, which is probably the ideal situation for him, as he can try
Muhiti's
and
retired.
catch up. As Mahiti's out of the race, he's at turn 7.
Safety
That's
car.
surely... Car it is. There you go. This is incredible for Hartman, because not only does he get the pit stop over... actually, SW will claim the lead here. I think he won't come in again.
Yeah.
Unless he goes for softs. But in terms of Hartman and Alex, Hartman has got the upper hand now.
And yet again, Pommy Alex gets absolutely shafted by a safety car.
Yeah. And Tinoz as well. Tinoz,
Yeah.
really good spot.
Perfect for Tinoz.
Yeah. LB could even come in for some mediums. I'd say that, I think the hard runners ought to come in for mediums. I think that's probably the best bet. We'll see what happens at the front. Hartman is in then, as we thought. Let's see about SW. Will he come in? Everyone's adhering to deltas at the minute, but SW won't come in, so he'll be the lead car as we go into this safety car period. We'll watch LB. We'll see what the strategy is for Red Bull. As he comes in, Tinoz follows him in as well, rightly so. It was about his time. Actually, Pommy Alex just stopped, so actually he could, if the delta hasn't been too mean to him, he could get back up ahead of LB and Tinoz, which he's going to do. He'll be right back where he left off. But Hartman, interestingly, he's on the soft compound tyre.
Interesting. Hartman thinks he can get the softs to the end, and, well, he's not wrong, but they're going to be really bad by the end.
Yeah.
As we've got 2 extra speeding pit lane penalties from, I think it was Stingray and RJ got a 5-second penalty each. So field is neutralized, and interestingly as well, we've got the lapped car of Hephaestus between SW and Hartman. So that's going to give SW a little bit of breathing room to begin with.
That's all right. They're going to just let him through.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll just say all the lapped cars between P1 and P2, you can go.
Yeah. But yeah, SW will be glad to have a back marker behind. Well, not a back marker, but a lapped car.
Yes.
Behind him. A back marker makes him sound like Hephaestus isn't quick, and he's definitely a quick driver on his day.
This isn't his day.
This is not his day, no. But when it all comes together, Hephaestus can put on a good show for everyone. But yeah, the Krauser, I'm sure, will be glad to see this safety car. He was lulling about toward the bottom end of the top 10 at the moment, so he'll be happy to see some cars closer to him. Hopefully trying to get himself back up to try and help his teammate in this fight for the Constructors' Championship.
Absolutely. Because the AlphaTauri is looking very strong at the moment. It was perfect timing for Tinoz, as we said. Yeah, championship leader getting a bit of luck there to retain his lead for now. But I've got to say, Sumo, there's been a lot of spins. People have struggled today, but the racing has been very clean.
Yeah, it really has. Yeah, the track has been the only one really causing any incidents at the moment, I think, and just drivers being caught out on a very technical circuit, and I don't blame them at all, because I think both you and I can attest to the harshness of Spain, and it's very tricky corners. So I wouldn't sling any dirt at any of the drivers here, because we all struggle.
Yeah, I mean, even I lost a podium around here from spinning at turn 2. So yeah, there's no disrespect meant to any of the drivers at all for struggling around here. It's a very tricky track, but clearly SW has got it absolutely sorted.
Yeah, just sort of look into Hartman taking quite the gamble here. He's definitely going for the more aggressive approach. As the safety car is in this lap, so SW becomes our effective safety car. As you see Hartman there, he's weaving and warming up those tyres. SW taking a more Kimi-esque approach for the moment, but he slows right down. Almost her face almost goes into the back of him. Good reactions to stop that car the way he did just then. But we'll be waiting for the green flag for the go time for these drivers. Yeah, it is a learning experience for future Tier 1 races. I think not always do Tier 2 drivers move up to Tier 1. It all depends on the assisted ability, of course, of the drivers. But drivers are more than welcome to try their hand at Tier 1, as we could do with some more drivers in Tier 1 at the moment. But anyway, SW has gone, and Festus has got a good start as well, away from that as well. But Hartman will be looking to get straight past that lap car. Festus looking like he's going to unlap himself here.
Yeah, as Jamie and Lifeout are going to go side by side into turn 1. Jamie round the outside, Krozer and Yusuf behind as well. Krozer gets himself ahead for now, but Yusuf has the inside, but now Krozer should have the better line.
He's going side by side with Tinon, down into turn 4. Is it 4? Is it 5? I don't know.
4.
But it's turn 4. As I think RJ's got up ahead. It looked like a car lost control, but Tinon's going back up through 5. Oh, they're going to continue to go side by side through 6. I think he'll back off through 7. Yeah, that's a sensible move from the Alfa Romeo. But I did see a car going all over the place, weaving to try and find a way through. And I think that was RJ, but it looked like he lost control, but he didn't. But RJ
SW
really...
3-second time penalty. SW 3 seconds. So Hartman could be in for a race win, but those softs are going to really struggle towards the end of this race.
He's just got to keep it within 3 seconds. RJ's really on the attack on this restart, but he does have a 5-second time penalty, so he's really got to manage what he's going to be able to do at the end of this race here. But we'll come back on Hartman. I don't think he's got anything thus far to come at SW for the moment. But once DRS is activated, as I speak, LB going on the attack on Alex, looking to the inside. They're going to go side by side through turn 1. That's incredible stuff. Such little space was there, but they left it and gave respect for one another. And Alex keeps the position for now. LB unlucky to not have a little bit of a spin there, but that was some great racing.
Talking of spins, Yusuf has gone for a spin at turn 2, unfortunately, so he's all the way down to P12 now. But yeah, this is a battle for the podium between Alex and LB. Alex hasn't been on the podium yet this season. LB has had 1 win, but no other podiums, so both of them on a bit of a podium drought.
RJ really on the attack right now. He's all over the back of Tinos. He's applying the pressure. He's really getting in those mirrors and looking for a way through. He was pushing him through 7 and 8 just now. And this is going to be quite the sprint to the finish.
It is indeed, as Hephaestus is hopefully going to get out of the way to not inadvertently give people DRS, as Jamie F1 gets down the inside of Lifebout, who looked like he made a mistake at, I think that was turn 11. So, opportunistic move from the Alpine, who gets himself into P7. DRS now enabled, so RJ, Tinos, LB and Alex all in a train at the moment, so they're all going to have the DRS on the upcoming laps, as Hartman is within 1 second of SW. He's stayed within a second for now. As long as he can keep that going, then he's going to have DRS, and it's going to be easier for him to stay with the Williams. But those softs are already going. You can see, look at that understeer he got through turn number 4. And he's already out of that 1 second range now. So SW looking to cement a race win here.
Yeah, certainly so, but do keep an eye on sector 3, because during the last lap I watched Hartman, he closed right up. The grip is a lot better in the twisty sector 3 part of the circuit. SW is actually losing a lot of ERS to try and stay ahead of Hartman here, so I won't be surprised if Hartman manages to get the DRS. We'll watch as they're
Oh,
coming through the
Lifebout's
sector.
gone for a spin. I
Ah,
think he braked. I think he braked too late and went into the back of Jamie F1, and so he's only got himself to blame for that one. As Crozer and Stingray also having a battle. The Aston Martin getting past the Red Bull into turn 4 on this lap. So
no DRS for Hartman.
not quite. So yeah, SW with the fastest lap as well. Hartman's going to find it very tricky to stay within 3 seconds. Here comes Crozer now on the Aston Martin. Should be a simple move down the inside. Stingray, nothing to say. No ERS in the tank either. So simple move for Crozer to get himself into P8.
Yeah, he's moved up 2 places since the restart of the race. He'll be setting his eyes forward now on the Alpine of Jamie F1, and he's already closing in. LB, talking of closing in, is closing in on Tommy Alex as well. He's got Tinos and RJ just behind him as well. So these guys in a big fight for that final spot on the podium. Hartman already 1.5 seconds down on SW, and I think he might start coming under threat from Tommy Alex.
He absolutely is. He's going to drop down to this pack eventually. And SW should get the race win here, because those softs are only going to get worse and worse as the race goes on. But yeah, it's all aboard the Pommy Alex train, which is soon to be the Hartman train. Pommy Alex almost within a second already, so I think that strategy choice is going to be the wrong one for the AlphaTauri. As the train approach.
Yeah, there it is. He's joined on the back now.
Yeah, here he comes. So I was looking for a different word other than.
Oh, here comes LB though. He's looking up the inside. They're going to go side by side. I think LB's got the corner this time, and Pommy Alex has no choice but to yield, and LB goes up into P3. Hartman's going to have to start looking in his mirrors now, as the two of them are within a second of the AlphaTauri. So LB looking to steal some points away from AlphaTauri in the final few laps of this race.
Yeah, and 3 overtakes happened in pretty much the space of 10 seconds. Crozer got himself past Jamie F1, as well as Lifebout getting past QB at the back. But he gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Pommy Alex nearly goes into the wall at turn 7.
Careful, Pommy, don't throw this podium away. Well, possible podium away. I think Hartman is going to really struggle here, and Pommy Alex will probably get one over on his rival there, as they've been battling all race long. But he's got to watch out for Tinos, who's just behind, who's no slouch to wheel-to-wheel action. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But Hartman not doing too bad. He's still within that 3 seconds, but there is about 4 laps to go as SW comes across the line to make that so. But Hartman already having to look behind him, as LB is actually in strong contention for the race. As here comes LB up the inside. We'll watch Tinos as well. He's not quite close enough to make the move at the moment, but LB going around the outside of turn 2 and getting the position, so he's going to now lead the chase after SW, who is 2.8 seconds up the road. So LB's really got to put in some laps, put in the work to try and stay within 3 seconds of the Williams.
It's going to be tricky, but I think if anyone can stay within 3 seconds, it's going to be LB.
And LB's on slightly fresher tyres too, which could be a big advantage.
As SW gets another 3-second time penalty!
Oh!
The pressure of pushing to try and get the race win has gotten to him. And the man who looked like he was sure to win the race... Oh, there's a yellow flag.
There's a Mercedes off at turn 7.
Yeah, Festus gone again. But yeah, the man who looked like he was sure to win this race has thrown it away, it seems, with another 3-second time penalty, pushing too hard to get rid of the other 3 seconds, and gets himself another one. So LB is now in pole position to win this race. Hartman is right behind as well, if he can keep Pommy Alex at bay, who's going to have to look behind him for Tinos as well, because Tinos has got the DRS and is right behind the McLaren, but Pommy Alex with the ERS advantage for now as Hartman looking to go round the outside of LB, brakes very late, great move, but he has to back out in the end as LB takes the corner and says, none of that, thank you, Hartman.
Yeah, Pommy Alex in prime position now to launch an attack on the AlphaTauri. He's looking toward the outside. He's not going to do it here. He'll just be waiting to sit as close behind as he can. Oh, he's going to go up the outside of turn 5. Incredible move.
He's gone for it. He
Oh!
used the overtake to go for it. They're still side by side coming into turn 7, and Hartman finally
Oh!
backs out and says, all right, go for it, Alex. That was fair enough. And Hartman hasn't got any ERS in the tank.
Oh, it
Tommy
put
Alex is
me!
gone. No! He's into the wall. He's retired from the session.
Oh! No!
Oh, no!
Tommy!
No!
After that move as well. The heartbreak. Heartbreak for the
No!
Australian. Oh, it's all kicking off in the chat. Zach, Alex. Oh my God, no. I can't believe what I've just watched.
Oh no, and I don't think he's made 90% either.
Oh.
But here comes Tinoz, we've got to focus on the race. Tinoz gets himself onto the podium again. How does he keep doing this? He spins on lap 1 and he's still on for a podium, as so is Hartman as it stands, because SW has those 6 seconds, but I think it's going to be tricky for Hartman to stay within those 6. Come the end of the race, there's still 2.5 laps to go.
Well, I'll keep that up for you guys. It's a 5.4 right now is the gap to SW for Hartman, so we'll keep watching that. But RJ's got 5 seconds, so he's out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy Alex in the chat, he's gutted, so are we, mate. We hate to see it. Absolutely devastated for you, man. But here comes RJ on the AlphaTauri, round the outside. On the second DRS straight, Hartman brakes late. RJ tries to hang it all the way around the outside. They're going to go side by side into turn 10. Oh my word, they've just about kept it on the track. Great racing from those two. Stingray also brakes very late and nearly goes into the side of his teammate when he rejoins the track. Be careful there, Stingray.
Yeah, I think that's Hartman out of contention for that podium now. It's going to be LB, Tinoz and SW on the podium. What order though, we don't quite know yet. We'll have a look back to the gaps. It's 1.1 second, so Tinoz definitely can go for it. He's really got to push those tyres to the limit. I think AlphaTauri winning the team game today, as they will be the highest placed team, unless anything bad happens in these last couple of laps.
Lifebelt's retired. That's in the middle of the straight as well. There may have been contact there. I'm not sure about that one. I think that's the first one where I think, we might see that in the stewards. Yeah. It's been very clean today, other than that.
Yeah, it's been incredible racing. That move from Tommy Alex was great round the outside of turn 7, but the absolute trauma of the crash afterwards, it's like it happened in slow motion.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. It was so gutting. I was riding on board with Hartman as well, who was just behind. I just saw Tommy just sort of go further to the right, and then into the wall. Oh, gutting. But we've got to keep an eye on the race, because the battle for the win is hotting up. Tinoz is in DRS range of LB. Surely he can't get another race win. It would be 3 on the trot for the championship leader if he can get a win out of nowhere today. He would look absolutely down and out after lap 1 and pretty much the whole race until that safety car came out, and he was right back in contention again. Final lap it is. 5.1, 5.2 is the gap to SW. Can Tinoz make a move into the hairpin, or is LB going to secure the race win today?
I'm not sure. Tinoz looking good. He's got one chance, and that's going to be down into turn 10 on that DRS. He's just got to focus on the exit of these next 2 corners. And let's see as he comes up the hill. Yeah, he's got a decent one out of through turn 8 there. How about turn 9? I think LB's just pipped him there. I don't think Tinoz is going to be able to make any sort of moves that are going to be any threat. I'm actually riding on board with the wrong car. I was watching Tinoz's rear view to RJ, but yeah, I don't think Tinoz is out. So I think this is going to go in the way of Red Bull this evening. It's going to go to LB unless there be any mistakes on the final. Tinoz really closed up in that final chicane, but it's not going to matter because the finishing line is right there, and it's going to be LB who takes the win at the Spanish Grand Prix. What an incredible race. SW throwing the race away after pushing and pushing and pushing to keep that lead, and he finishes in 3rd position after penalties. Hartman P4. A valiant effort on the soft tyre, and well, not the best choice, but he managed to retain a decent position, giving AlphaTauri maximum points. RJ,
Best
even
finish of
with
the
the
season for him
yeah,
as well. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
yeah, RJ managing to keep that P5 after that 5 second penalty, only losing a place to Hartmann. Krauser P6. Red Bull not able to outscore AlphaTauri this evening, so the championship battle for the constructors heats up as we go into the break. Jamie F1 having a decent race. We'll go through the rest of the minute, but guys, I need you to vote for those drivers of the day. We've not got long left of the stream, so put in your votes for driver of the day. Vardy will very much appreciate it, as LB gets the game's driver of the day. But what about yours?
Oh, tricky, 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 tricky. Um, I think I've got to give driver of the day. I think I've got to give it to LB. I know
Yeah,
Tinos had a spin as well, but LB spun. I think he spun twice
yeah,
today, and came back. Lucky safety car, don't get me wrong, but he came back to manage to win the race, take advantage of SW's track limits penalties. Yeah, great stuff from him. And I've got to say as well. Oh, Hartmann's got to be up there as well for driver of the day.
yeah.
Either of those two, I'd give it to LB or Hartmann, and Tinos as well would deserve it as well. I think so.
Yes,
Any of those three, I would give it to.
yeah. I think I'll have to agree with LB. I think he capitalised very well toward the end of that race, and despite spinning a couple times, managed to get a decent result out of this evening. So LB is your race winner here. Tinos coming P2, SW rounding off the podium in P3 after getting 2 penalties and dominating the race. Hartmann and RJ P5, 4 and 5, Krauser 7th, Jamie no Krauser 6th, Jamie 7th, Stingray 8th, Yusuf 9, QB 10th, 11th was Hephaestus, who got the fastest lap.
Yeah,
So well done to Hephaestus. Incredible stuff.
absolutely brilliant. What a race! Tier 2 is back to its best, everyone. That's what we love to see.
Incredible, incredible. A great race at Spain, and very filled with the drama, the sort of drama that we like to see here in Tier 1. Drivers making little mistakes, and people on comeback drives, and yeah, RJ, I must say, was on a fairly decent comeback drive. If it wasn't for that 5 second penalty, I think he would have been
Yeah.
finished one place high. He'd have finished in P4, so great job from RJ to recover after a horrible start to the race. Krauser as well, back up to P6. Not his not where he would have wanted to finish in that race, especially after taking the alternate strategy. But you can't squander recovering from a horrible session. He was lingering in P10 for a little while. Well, like I said in the beginning of the stream, we are going to be on a break week next week. So there won't be any Tier 2 racing, but you might see something happen on that Tuesday, but you won't find out until nearer the time. Where are we going the week after next? Let's find out.
It's almost a shame we've got a break week because that was as I said, tier 2 back to its best. So yeah, it does feel like a bit of a shame that we've got a break week, but
Yeah.
yeah. Pommy Alex was classified, by the way, just.
Yes.
So he does get 8 points on the board at least, but gutted, gutted for him.
Absolutely gutted for Pommy. Yeah, I was having an amazing race. He was looking set for a podium, and bam! It's what happens to the People's Champion. That's the burden one must carry to be the People's Champion. But we are after the break week. We head to Bahrain on the March 29th. It'll be USA on the 5th of April, Russia on the 12th of April, Monza on the 19th of April, when the final race of the season will be held at Austria at the Red Bull Ring. So don't miss those final 5 races of what has been a very dramatic season. But I think we have gone on long enough. I hope you guys have got some of those driver of the day votes in. I think there's only one at the moment. I think it's Rick for LB, so I think that's your driver of the day there, Vardy. I think the game agreed with us as well. So, any final thoughts, Ghost?
Well, I was very, very glad to see, as I said, Tier 2 is back. And brilliant race at Spain. So many mistakes being made by the drivers. Just, it's a tough track, Spain, but the racing was fantastic. Everyone very clean, everyone very, very much giving respect to other drivers, which is what we want to see. And yeah, I'm very glad that we're back. But as I said, yeah, almost a shame we have a break week, but it is nice to take a bit of a break.
Yes, well, we'll have to wait and see till the the 29th of March if to whether anybody can mount a challenge to Tinos and AlphaTauri's current championship campaign. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on now. Make sure you go check out our sponsor, Positive Perception Media Design Products. Head over to the socials and give them all the love and support that you give us over here. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to mine and Ghost's channels, especially for the onboard stream if you're interested in that. And make sure you go check out the rest of us who are part of the APPF1 racing community. Anyway, I have been Sumo.
I have been Ghost.
And we shall see you not next week, but the week after for a race at the Bahrain International Circuit. Goodbye.